and she will win. Sarandha to be on the stage.
Advocate General of Brigadier in Chief Samatwa, whose role as Advocate General of
Today it is a
there is a representation which goes beyond 50%. In Kerala, at least at the entry level of junior division, we have almost 60% representation of women. I am sure that in the coming days, there will be more representation in the subordinate judiciary also. With respect to the High Court, I hope to mitigate at least to some extent what has been the grievance that has been expressed here. But Patna High Court had its own representation. We have Justice Mridula Mishra and Justice Neelu Agarwal in the audience who represented women in the High Court and proved their mettle on the bench. As far as the further activities, I don't have to endorse it. I promise every support to the activities of the Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers. In fact, the learned AG was asking me, what is the ratio of the women and men lawyers in Kerala? I told him that I don't know the exact ratio, but I can assure you that there is a formidable presence by numbers and also by their nature in courts. We have two of them sitting here. Appearances are deceptive. Don't go by their amicable demeanors. They are fiery lawyers and they are formidable in court, and I have been at the receiving end of both of them were sitting as a judge in the Kerala High Court. We should have more women arguing in our courts. That would be the first step in having representation on the bench also. I exhort the senior lawyers who have these women lawyers with them to give them more opportunities. That would be one way of acknowledging their rights and also ensuring their due representation on the bench. Without, the collegium system, without without visibility, it is difficult for us to pick a person from the bar. Once again, I exhort the seniors to give more opportunities to the women so that they can be identified and in future they can be made judges also. But as far as asking you to get up and pat yourselves on the back, but let me assure you, you don't have to do that. We recognize your worth and might in the courts and outside it. A small anecdote, I was working in a bank before I joined the profession. I had two women sitting on my both sides. I remember their names, Hansa and Revati. At 10 o'clock when we came to the seats, I used to hear a gasp of relief from both my sides. So I asked them why. Then one of them told me, this is the first time I'm sitting down after getting up in the morning. And they never let up on their work in the bank. And they were considered two of the best employees of the bank. So it is not as if we don't recognize, not only we, or the society don't recognize the women. And speaking of empowerment, when a federation is formed of lawyers, and we talk about representation in the judiciary, we should always remember that it is not the lawyers who are already members and the persons who are already adorning the seats in the judiciary that we intend to empower. A year back, I was attending one of the functions organized by the Kerala Federation of Women Lawyers. And in the morning, I read from the papers that Italy was having its first woman prime minister. When did we have the first woman prime minister? Long back. Are we still talking about empowerment of women? Then we should understand that empowerment has to have a wider spread. There are the marginalized communities and those downtrodden people from whom the women have to be empowered. I would request the federation members to introspect and find out ways and means to empower the masses and not merely themselves. In this endeavor, I am sure that the Legal Services Authority would be able to go a long way, and your support means a lot to us. I can vouch from my own state. The Kerala State Legal Services Authority had involved the women lawyers in a great way, and we have a special system which is unique to the state of Kerala, where we have the Victim Rights Center, where all the members are women lawyers. On a crime being committed, there are two victims. One, the person who was subjected to the crime, and often the perpetrator also is a victim, or his family is a victim. The Kerala Legal Services Authority, through the Victim Rights Center, try to mitigate their hardships when they have to go through a trial, and also suffer the losses because of a crime committed on one of them. In this, I have personally come across the way the victims greet the lawyers. They have been, the Victim Rights Center and the Women Federation, who are also the members of the Victim Rights Center, have been doing stellar work in the presence of Kerala. In which function, in one of the women prisons, I attended a function